Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. The Jacksonville Jaguars 40-34 at home. Rayshawn Jennings in overtime gets his second interception of the day, but he takes it back, and this team in back-to-back weeks has taken down playoff opponents. This team was down 21-7 at halftime, but they were not done. Losing by 17 in the third quarter. They put up 17 in the third, 10 in the fourth, and the pick six in overtime. So welcome back to the channel. Obviously, we're talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars today. Jags fans, you guys have to be so excited, not only about today, but just about the future in general. This is a young, hungry team on both sides of the ball. Trevor Lawrence has had a hell of a season, and they are ready to go. I mean, I'm just saying the playoffs are still at stake here. But we'll talk about that a little later on in the video. If you guys enjoy it and you want more Jaguar content, let me know down below. Let's try and get this video to 500 likes on today's video. Jaguar fans, you guys have absolutely blessed the 2 Jaguar videos I have made in this past week. So I appreciate you guys, and I definitely will be covering this team for time to come. So at the end of the day, this was a stellar performance. It really was. The fourth quarter, defense gets a huge stop, right? They caused actually a couple turnovers at Dak with Jenkins getting those interceptions, but they get a huge stop. Less than 2 minutes on the clock. They got a timeout to work with. Zay Jones, Ingram, Trevor Lawrence, they're all making plays. But I got to give credit to Trevor Lawrence because not only is he having a phenomenal comeback sophomore campaign, but he is a huge reason that this team was able to win the football game. I mean, he might be the reason. I guess the defense, but everybody really was a big reason. Trevor Lawrence on the day, 27 of 42, 318 yards, 4 touchdowns. He did have an interception. So, Jacksonville, they're 6-8 right now. They've won 2 straight against Tennessee and Dallas. They're still making some mistakes on both sides of the ball. It's just a young, hungry team. Doug Peterson has done a phenomenal job coaching this team this season. The culture has completely flipped all year. This team started out a little bit shaky, a little inconsistent. You could still see the future was bright, but it just wasn't equating to victories. I'm telling you, man, these last 2 weeks have been absolutely insane. And like I said, Jaguar fans, I can't even begin to imagine what you guys are feeling right now because it's got to be just pure enjoyment. Travis Etienne, 19 carries, 109 yards. That's for 5.4 yards. Jamal Agnew, these guys ran for 192 yards on the day. That's good for 7.1 yards per attempt. And keep in mind, once again, the Dallas Cowboys are very much a playoff team. In fact, if they had won today, they would have clinched a playoff berth. They're still going to make the playoffs, but neither here nor there. You're taking down playoff teams. Zay Jones, 3 touchdowns. I can't believe I dropped this dude this past week in fantasy. I guess that's a reason why I'm not getting to the next round. 6 receptions, 109 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He had a huge connection with Trevor Lawrence for 59 in the touchdown. Zay Jones having a career year. Christian Kirk, 6 receptions, 92 yards. He's having a career year. Any more? Yeah, Evan Ingram, 8 receptions, 62 yards. He's having a career year. I really hope they retain Evan Ingram because he has dialed it up this season. The drops were something that just lingered with him in his entire NFL career, and he's rejuvenated right now with this Jaguar offense. Defensively, though, I know they gave up 21 in the first half, but man, second half, it really was a game of 2 halves. Overtime, not only it started a little shaky, right? Tony Pollard got a couple of breakaway runs. He had like 2 big runs for first downs. They forced a 3rd and short, so defense made 2 nice stops. That was just an insane interception by Rayshawn Jenkins. He had 18 total tackles today. 9 of them were solo. He had 2 pass deflections. He had a touchdown, and he had 2 interceptions. Game of his career, absolutely awesome. And then you got the Young Bucks, Devin Lloyd, 9 total tackles, 7 of those were solo. The rookie out of Utah, late first rounder, he's an absolute young, promising stud. All right, this is where I want to hear from you guys. Aluakin, I thought you pronounced his name Aluakin, but all game today I heard Aluakan, all right? He had almost 200 tackles last season with the Atlanta Falcons. Almost 200. He's also having a phenomenal season this year. Well, today he had 9 solo tackles, 14 of them 14 in total. 9 of those were solo. I mean, this is just a young, promising defense. Andre Cisco. I mean, Trayvon Walker, obviously, but he didn't go today. Man, the future is so bright in Jacksonville. And, like I was saying earlier on in the video, the hope is actually, it's still there. The percentages aren't necessarily in their favor. I will say this, though, and I'm sorry if we got any Titan fans watching this video right now, but injuries have completely and utterly decimated that team in the last handful of weeks. Anything is possible. They dismantled Tennessee last week, man. 36-22. I showed some clips earlier on in today's video, but it doesn't stop just there. They had that tough loss against Detroit, right? We talked about the inconsistency. But the week before it, at home, taking down another playoff team in the Baltimore Ravens. This team is hungry, and they are talented. All right, they got 3 games left on the slate. At New York. New York just lost to Detroit. Detroit also is a red-hot football team. Very young, very hungry team as well. But I'm not sold on whoever's going to start. Zach Wilson probably will be the starter. Mike White, it doesn't even matter. Their offense sucks. If you can take down New York, if you can take down Houston, who's actually been giving teams like Dallas and Kansas City, I believe that game actually is still going on right now. They might even take down Kansas City in overtime. The game's probably over at the time of this recording, but if you can win those next 2 weeks in Tennessee, I mean, when we take a look at their schedule, man, it's not all fine and dandy for them. They still got a high percentage chance of making the playoffs, but you got the Chargers today. You got Houston, like I said, it's looking good. Dallas, and then that Jacksonville. Who knows, man? Week 18, it all could come down to Week 18. You never know. There have been crazier things this year in football. I think everyone can agree. This year has been insanity. The NFL is completely and utterly wide open, and anybody can grab it. That division is still up for grabs, man. I'm not saying they're 100% going to do it, but their odds 100% just bolted. And if Tennessee loses today to the Chargers, it's going to only continue to bolt. The momentum is on their side. I think it really is just a projection of things to come. Just keep building that momentum. They are well coached. They have a great quarterback. You have a young, hungry defense. Once they get more consistent, which we've seen specifically in the last 2 weeks, this is not a team that's going to be joking around for years to come. Trevor Lawrence might be the future of the NFL. That's it for today, man. If you want more Jags content, let me know down below. But, guys, I want to hear your opinions on today's game. I want to hear your opinions on the Jaguars team in general. Once again, Jaguar fans, if we get this video to 500 likes, I will be forever grateful. Appreciate you guys. Have a good rest of your weekend. And get ready for more Jaguar content, man.